Competition Nanisha Goswami, your back in online series of machine design engine, specific internal combustion engine, and in internal combustion engine I'm going to cover or design or basic fundamentals of crankshaft. In previous lectures we have already seen that design of piston, design of connecting rod. So in this lecture we will see about the design of or basic fundamentals of your crankshaft. So you can see here in this diagram, you can see here this dark blue color section is known as cylinder, and that portion light gray color section is known as your piston, which is having your simple, or you can say that linear motion or reciprocating motion, right? And this section is known as your crankshaft. Okay, so crankshaft is generally used, or bearings are used to providing the support for the crankshaft. Okay, and whatever the amount of force act on connecting rod, it will be transferred to your crankshaft. Okay, or you can say that the reciprocating of motion of your crankshaft will be piston will be transferred to your oscillatory motion of connecting rod, and finally rotary motion of your crankshaft. So this is the basic fundamental of your crankshaft, right? So a crankshaft which is used with a crank is used to convert the reciprocating motion of the piston into rotary motion or vice versa. Okay, so this is the basic fundamental. Okay, so now what are the component by use of which crankshaft is consist of? Okay, so the crankshaft consists of the shaft parts which is revolved in main bearing. I have already explained. Bearings are used for the supportive function of your crankshaft, right? So these bearings are used for the supporting function, and crankshaft is revolved inside of your bearing. Okay, and crank pins are used in big end of the connecting rod, which is connected with the crankshaft, and crank arms or webs, or sometimes it is also known as the cheeks. Okay, which is used to connect the crank pin and the shaft part. Okay, so that portion we have already completed in connecting rod, right? Design of big end bearing or big end cap, design of small end cap, we have already completed in that portion in connecting rod, right? So next is your introduction. So what is crankshaft? Crankshaft, depending upon the position of crank, may be divided into the two category basically. Okay, so crankshaft is defined as, first classification is side crankshaft, or it is also known as overhung crankshaft, and second one is your center crankshaft. So how we will define these two type of crankshaft? So crankshaft is defined on the position of crank. So now you can see here in this diagram, first is your side crankshaft and second one is your center crankshaft. Okay, so this is depend on the position. So here, if crank is used sidewise, okay, when crank is used inside, so that is known as the side crankshaft, and when crank are used at the center, okay, so you can see here when crank are used at the center. Okay, so this is known as your center crankshaft. Here you can see that here your shaft is, or you can see that crank is at the side. Okay, so this is side crankshaft, and when crank is at center, so this is your center crankshaft, right? Next is your center crankshaft. I have already explained. Okay, now you can see here in this point. Okay, so the design of the center crankshaft by considering the two crank position. Okay, so we will design the generally crankshaft by considering the two crank positions, such that when the crank is at that center, or it is subjected to, or you can say that when crankshaft is subject to maximum amount of bending moment. Okay, so this is the very important fundamental. When maximum amount of bending moment will be applied, so we have to design the crankshaft. Okay, or second condition, when the crank is at angle, at this the twisting moment is maximum. So we know when in IC engine there is bending moment is also present and twisting moment is also present. Okay, so we have to design the crankshaft on these basis, right? And we have already studied in NDID. Okay, design of shaft, simple shaft. So there, where we have also considered that this design of the shaft on the basis of twisting moment, when twisting moment is maximum and when bending moment is maximum. So these are the basic two conditions to design your crankshaft. Okay, side or overhang crankshaft. What is this? I have already explained. So the side or overhang crankshaft are used for the medium size and large horizontal engine. Means side, when we use the crankshaft, side crankshaft. So these are used for the medium size and large horizontal engine. Okay. And its main advantage. So what are the advantages? That's why we use in this application. Okay. So it requires only two bearing in either the single or two crank construction. So there are the only two bearings are required for the supporting purpose. Okay. So this is the main advantage of your side crankshaft. So here you can see that here this is your center crankshaft. You can see in this diagram or in this animation I have put it here for the better understanding. Okay. So this is your, what is this? This is your center crankshaft, right? Next is, what are the material used for the crankshaft? Because material is always very important when we design any component of IC engine. So materials come in picture always, right? And what is the manufacture of the crankshaft? Means manufacture of crankshaft means what are the basic manufacturing technology we use to manufacture the crankshaft. So this is the mean by your main title. Okay. So we know crankshafts are subjected to continuously shock and fatigue load. Fatigue means it is in rotating condition. These are in rotating condition, right? So when cyclic loading will be applied and failure will occur due to this cyclic loading. So these are known as your fatigue load. Okay. So material for that type of the crankshaft should be tough and fatigue resistant. So this is our requirement from our study. Okay. So generally crankshafts are made of carbon steel, special steel or special cast iron. Okay. So generally these type of the materials are used for the crankshaft. Okay. And crankshafts are used for, okay, now what is the manufacturing technology and what is the manufacturing process we apply? Okay. So we can make the crankshaft by using the drop forging or casting process. Okay. And generally we use the former method. Okay, more common. So generally forging, or you can use any method, forging and casting, right? And surface of the crank pin is hardened by. So when how we will harden the surface of the crank pin? Okay, so we use the case hardening or case carbonizing, night grinding or induction hardening. So we know these are the hardening process. So after manufacturing the crankshaft, we apply all these type of the process for the hardening of your crank pin surface. Okay. So now, what are the bearing pressure and stresses in crankshaft? Okay. So the bearing pressure are very important in case of crankshaft, because bearing means we are using the bearing for the supporting action, right? So there may be bearing pressure may be generated. So that's why it is very important. Okay. So the maximum permissible bearing pressure depends on which what are the factors on that or on which maximum bearing pressure will be depend. So we know in IC engine there may be gas pressure, there may be velocity of the general, okay, amount and method of lubrication. In bearing we have already seen in sliding contact bearing, lubrication or lubricating oil is very important, okay. And when we change the direction of bearing pressure, so these are the means maximum gas pressure, or you can consider the inertia forces also, okay. General velocity, amount of lubricating oil we use, when we use the direction of bearing pressure. So these are the very important fundamentals. Okay, so basically two types of stresses are generated in crankshaft. We have already discussed bending stresses and shear stresses. Shear is due to twisting movement and bending is due to bending movement. We know. Okay, movement equation M by I is equal to sigma B by y. Okay, and here twisting equation Tyj is equal to tau by r. Okay, so these are the stresses generated in case of your crankshaft. Okay. Now, next is what are the design consideration? So, what should be the design consideration? We have already seen that in how internal combustion engine work. Okay, so it is used to increase the stiffness of the crankshaft. Okay, and reduce the overall length. Okay, so why we do? Because if stiffness of the crankshaft should not be sufficient, so it may be distorted. Okay, so stiffness of the crankshaft is very important. So you can achieve it by reducing the length, overall length. Okay, by incorporating nano journal or large diameter. Okay, we will use the small length journal and diameter of the journal should be greater. Okay, so for the required wall thickness and coolant passage, the minimum cylinder center should be around 1.2 times the cylinder bore. Okay, so coolant passes should be what is the bore? Bore is capital D. Okay, where actual movement of piston will be takes place. Okay, so that value should be equal to the 1.2 times of your cylinder bore, means D, capital D. Okay, diameter of a engine having its stroke is equal to bore. We have seen that. What is the stroke? Stroke takes place actually in bore diameter. Okay. Next is when maximum diameter of the big end of connecting rod assembly that can pass through the cylinder should be 0.65 times of your bore. So these are the standard data. We have to use these data as it is. Okay. And to increase the fatigue life of the shaft, because shaft is continuously applied by the continuously reverse or cyclic loading. Okay, so we have to increase the fatigue life of the shaft. So the flate radius between the journal and blade should be as large as possible. Flate radius, we apply the flate at sidewise, so that radius should be large as possible. Okay, so it should not be less than of your 5% of journal diameter. So these are the, I have already said that these are the standard parameters we have to consider as it is. Okay, so now what is the design procedure for the crankshaft? Okay, so the design procedure is to designing a crankshaft. First of all, we have to find out the different types of the various magnitude of the forces or load act on crankshaft. So this is the first requirement. Second, we have to find out the distance between the supports. Okay, whatever the supports we are using in crankshaft, so we have to find out the distance between these support and position. Okay, with respect to different types of your load. For example, some loads are acting, so we have to find out the distance from the that with considering the reference of the load. Okay, and for the sake of simplicity and also for the safety, shaft should be considered to be supported at the center of bearing. Okay, for the simplicity and for the safety purpose, we consider that shaft is considered to be supported at the center of bearing. Means center of bearing and center of shaft should be coincide. Okay, should not be reflected. There should not present any type of eccentricity. You can say that. Okay, but in actual practice, it may be there. And all the forces and reactions to be acting these points, you have to find out the all forces and reactions acted all these points. Okay, and the distance between the supports depends on the length of the bearing. Okay, which in turn means distance between the supports is depend on what parameters? So it is depend on the length of bearing. What is the length of bearing we are using? Okay, and it is directly depends on the diameter of the shaft. Okay, so why it is depends on the diameter of the shaft? Because of the allowable bearing pressure. We know the pressure is equal to load divided by your projected area, and projected area is what? D into L. Diameter of shaft and length of bearing. We have already discussed in sliding contact bearing. Okay, and thickness of the cheeks or weight is assumed to be 0.4 ds to 0.6 ds. What is the ds? So ds is here diameter of the shaft. So these are the again standard value. Okay, and you can take it from the 0.22D to 0.32D. So D is here your bore of your cylinder, right? And next is your last point is there, calculate the distance between the supports. Okay? And next point is we will assume that allowable bending and shear stress determine the main. Okay? So by using this procedure, you can find out the different functions, okay, or different dimensions of your crankshaft, okay, by using the standard one. So thank you. Keep watching.